In the misty mountains of Sichuan, a creature moves through bamboo forests that have stood for millennia. This is the giant panda, China's most recognizable symbol. But how did this reclusive bear become a global icon and diplomatic tool? The story begins in ancient China, where pandas were already considered special. Historical records from the Tang dynasty mention pandas being presented as gifts to emperors. These early exchanges established a pattern that would last centuries. Pandas were part of China's tribute system, where regional rulers offered rare animals to the emperor. This wasn't just about gifts, it was political theater. The acceptance of pandas symbolized imperial authority and the submission of distant regions. For centuries, pandas remained largely unknown to the Western world. They were creatures of myth and legend, mentioned in occasional travelers' tales. This changed dramatically in the 20th century. The modern era of panda diplomacy began with Su Lin, the first panda to reach the United States in 1936. Captured by American explorer Ruth Harkness, Su Lin became an instant celebrity in Chicago. Su Lin's popularity revealed something important. Pandas had universal appeal. Their distinctive appearance and gentle demeanor crossed cultural boundaries. Chinese leaders took note of this potential. After World War II, pandas became tools of Cold War diplomacy. In 1957, China gifted a panda to the Soviet Union, its communist ally. This was the first official panda gift to a foreign government in modern times. The most famous panda gift came in 1972, following President Nixon's historic visit to China. China presented two pandas, Ling Ling and H Sing, to the United States. This gesture symbolized the thawing of relations between the two nations. Ling Ling and H Sing became American celebrities. Millions visited them at the National Zoo, and they appeared in countless media stories. The pandas had achieved what diplomats couldn't. They made Americans feel positively about China. This success led to more panda gifts throughout the 1970s and 80s. Japan, France, the UK, Spain, and Mexico all received pandas. Each gift followed important diplomatic breakthroughs or anniversaries. But there was a problem. Pandas were endangered. By the 1980s, there were only about 1,000 left in the wild. China could no longer afford to give them away as gifts. In 1984, China introduced a new system, panda loans instead of gifts. Foreign zoos could host pandas, but they had to pay substantial fees. These funds would support panda conservation in China. The economics of panda loans are staggering. Zoos typically pay $1 million per year for a pair of pandas. Additional costs include building specialized habitats and importing tons of bamboo. But why are zoos willing to pay so much? Because pandas are economic powerhouses. The San Diego Zoo estimated that its pandas generated $200 million in economic impact during their stay. Modern panda diplomacy has become more sophisticated. Loans are carefully timed with diplomatic events. When China wants to improve relations with a country, pandas often arrive. When relations sour, pandas might be recalled. In 2011, China loaned pandas to Scotland shortly before a major trade deal. In 2014, pandas arrived in Belgium during a state visit. Each loan sends a clear political message without saying a word. Panda diplomacy extends beyond governments. Corporate partnerships also involve pandas. When Disney wanted to build Shanghai Disneyland, panda-themed attractions and conservation partnerships helped smooth negotiations. The soft power effect is measurable. Surveys show that countries hosting pandas have more positive views of China. Pandas make China seem friendly, environmentally conscious, and culturally rich. But panda diplomacy faces criticism. Some call it animal diplomacy that puts political goals before animal welfare. Others question whether the conservation funds are properly used. China has responded by improving panda care standards. Loan agreements now include strict requirements for habitat, diet, and veterinary care. Most pandas in foreign zoos live longer than their wild counterparts. The conservation results are impressive. Through breeding programs funded by loan fees, China's captive panda population has grown significantly. Some pandas have even been successfully reintroduced to the wild. Panda diplomacy has evolved with technology. Today, people worldwide can watch pandas via live streams from Chinese breeding centers. These digital ambassadors reach millions without leaving China. China has also created panda bonds, foreign currency bonds issued in China. The name deliberately evokes the positive associations of panda diplomacy, making Chinese financial markets seem more approachable. The Belt and Road Initiative, China's massive infrastructure project, also features panda diplomacy. Countries participating in the initiative often receive panda loans as symbols of partnership. Pandas have even entered space diplomacy. China named its lunar rover Yutu, or Jade Rabbit, but panda imagery frequently appears in space-related outreach, making China's space programs seem friendly and peaceful. What makes pandas such effective soft power tools? First, they're apolitical. Unlike human diplomats, pandas don't represent any political ideology. They're simply appealing animals that everyone can enjoy. Second, pandas represent environmental stewardship. By associating with pandas, China positions itself as a responsible global citizen committed to conservation. This counters narratives about Chinese pollution and environmental damage. Third, pandas connect to Chinese culture. They appear in traditional art and are considered symbols of peace and friendship. This allows China to showcase its cultural heritage alongside modern diplomacy. The future of panda diplomacy is changing. With pandas recently downgraded from endangered to vulnerable, China may adjust its approach. But pandas will likely remain diplomatic tools for decades to come. New challenges are emerging. Climate change threatens bamboo forests, the panda's main food source. Future panda diplomacy may need to address global environmental cooperation more directly. China is also developing other animal diplomats. Snow leopards, golden monkeys, and Yangtze dolphins are being promoted, but none have achieved the panda's universal appeal. The panda's journey from mountain recluse to global diplomat reveals much about soft power. It shows how culture, conservation, and commerce can combine to shape international relations. Soft power isn't about military might or economic pressure. It's about attraction and persuasion. Pandas make people want to engage with China, to visit, to trade, to cooperate. This approach has deep roots in Chinese philosophy. The concept of win-win cooperation, where all parties benefit, is central to panda diplomacy. Zoos get popular attractions, China gets positive exposure, and pandas get conservation funding. As we look to the future, panda diplomacy offers lessons. In an interconnected world, soft power matters more than ever. Building positive associations can be more effective than traditional diplomacy alone. The next time you see a panda, remember, you're not just looking at a cute animal. You're witnessing centuries of diplomatic strategy, cultural exchange, and soft power in action.